Welcome to the Daily Dish. I'm Joey Wagner. He's Derek Piper. We're going to continue our player preview focus. We've recapped all the returners. We've talked Terrence Shannon. We've talked Sky Clark. It's time for Jayden Epps, Derek, who was previously committed to Providence. Him and Chester Frazier go way back, 4 years, I believe Chester said. Jaden was on campus at Virginia Tech. And he was the second commit of this class. Chester obviously led this thing for him. But man, this guy gets buckets. I think that's the thing. When you think of Jayden Epps, like buckets is about the first thing that comes to mind. This kid is a really, really gifted scorer, Derek.
Your mind's in the right place if you're thinking buckets first and foremost with Jayden Epps, because that is exactly what he is. He's a bona fide bucket getter that is just electric when he has it going. Now, he can be a little bit of a high volume scorer, so he's going to get his clips up for sure. He's going to get those shots. And as you look in the Big Ten, I mean, he's going to have some nights where maybe it's not falling, but he can really fill it up with ease. He's just a natural wired to score guy with deep range from three, can get in the lane and score, can break you down off the dribble, and someone that has earned even more respect over his senior season. Had a big senior season, showed out in some big moments and rose, I think, 17 spots. He was at about 60, and now he's into the top 50. So someone that was a big deal getting him. This staff, and we knew it as soon as Illinois got him last summer, that was a huge feather in the cap for Chester Frazier right off the bat, and just a big addition to that backcourt. But he's a guy that can play on the ball. He can play off the ball as a spot-up shooter. So just someone that, as we profile it and project it, we talked about it with Sky Clark in the Daily Dish we did for him, that Epps and Clark will be in the mix for a starting spot probably as it shakes out right now for point guard. Either way, big minutes in store for both of them. If Epps right now is going to play behind Clark, I think that as your point guard in that second unit could get a ton of minutes. But I do think he will push Sky, especially if Sky's not fully healthy as we go into towards the season.
Yeah, I kind of get like weird Adam Miller, Andre Curbelo flashbacks. Like somebody's going to be in there, and I think one of those two is going to be like that six man who can come in like Andre Curbelo was when he was a freshman, just that guy off the bench who is really quote unquote a six starter, I think, because we know Jayden Epps has got those. He won the Iverson Classic one-on-one competition. I mean, this guy gets after it. And I wonder what's his role, Derek? I mean, is he a true point guard? Is he more of a combo fit? Like, where do you see him achieving his most success positionally here?
I think he's best with the ball in his hands. I think he's a scoring point guard is probably how I would describe it. I mean, he is a combo. He's literally ranked as that or positionally graded as that by 24/7 Sports, and that's because he can be effective off the ball as a shooter. But putting the ball in his hands, ability to make plays. Now, and when I say score first, he's looking for his shot a lot. I think that his facilitating ability isn't bad by any means. He's shown. I really liked when I saw him in the AAU circuit. I think that he does a great job of operating through traffic once he gets in the lane. He's able to see the corner open up for a three if he's going to dish that out. So, and he doesn't get rattled in those type of situations where he's just got a lot of bodies around him. But setting other guys up, making some of the more advanced reads as a point guard, I think are some things that he has to continue to get better at. But I think that him and Clark could play together. I think it's kind of just whoever gets the ball runs the offense type thing, and then be able to create whenever that comes to you. But I think that point guard is really his spot, but it's a scoring role for him. And both him and Clark are both that scoring geared type of on-ball player.
He looks like a strong kid. I know we talked about that with Sky Clark, but he looks like for a high school senior, he's also on campus already now, Derek. We saw Illinois posted a video of 3 of the 4 freshmen, Ty Rogers. He's got some USA basketball obligations, so he's not here yet. But Jayden Epps looks like a kid with some strength, knows how to use that strength on the floor. I think Chester called the 3 of those guys, Chester Frazier, dynamic guards. I think he fits into that, and strength might be a pretty significant part of his game.
It is, for sure. He is strong for his size, and I know he's been compared to Frank Mason, a guy that's was able to use that and just very compact as a guard there at the point spot. And that really works two ways when you think about going into the lane, absorbing contact. And when you see freshmen, I think that, veteran guards in this league like to bump them and try to out physical them, knowing they've had more time in the collegiate weight room. But defensively also, not being able to have guys just really body him to the rim. I think that's something that that strength can certainly play into it. He's a pit bull. He is willing to be physical, and he's tough as nails, and that's something that with his physicality and his toughness is something that will certainly play well as someone that's going to be expected to play significant minutes early on in his career in the Big Ten.
How big of a feather in the cap was this for Chester Frazier to get this done like a month and a half after he got hired? And obviously he was a big win, Jayden Epps was.
I think it was huge. And I don't know that Chester would tell you this, but I think that the fact that Chester made the move to Illinois was a big reason why Jayden Epps opened it up and wanted to check out his options again. And knowing how passionate Chester was about Illinois, and just the fact that Illinois had some appeal to him after the guards they had with Adesumu and obviously under Curbelo too, with the type of freshman year he had. But this was a really, really big deal. And Kansas gets in the mix, and they wanted Jaden to take more time and be a viable option for them as they kind of sorted through their options. But Chester put the foot on the gas pedal, got it done in the summer. And that was, I mean, when we talked about the staff, I mean, there was a time when Chester seemed to be the only one. I know that Jeff was still part of the support staff and was able to offer a helping hand, but Chester had a big load on his shoulders early on, and to deliver Jayden Epps and Sincere Harris, who we're going to talk about in another video, that was a big deal for that next wave of talent for Brad Underwood.
Big recruiting class here, number 9 in the country. Jayden Epps is a huge part of that. He'll have opportunity at Illinois as a true freshman, probably a good amount of it, and we'll cover it all here at IlliniInquirer.com.